This is Occupier Kaylin coming to you live from Cowles Commons, which is an area in front of this Capitol Square building that was once known as Nolan Plaza. Pretty good. This is the formal dedication of what is called the Peace Garden. And it's an area of this plaza that is dedicated to promotion of peace. And here, sitting in front of the band, is a group of people that have flags from different countries, and some of them are waving them to the beat of the music. And there's a UN flag on the right, and then the U.S. flag on the left. There'll be a few speakers. I just thought when I saw this, I thought I'm going to come down and stream this so I can bring it to you live, just a little something different. So some American patriotic songs until the first speaker comes up. I'm sorry? I was with the Muslim. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's such a wonderful experience. Many years ago, I was a member of a group called the Iowa Council for International Understanding. And then all of a sudden, I stopped getting the membership renewal letters. And I thought, what the heck? No, I didn't. I should have.
Yeah, you should. Still do that.
Yeah.
It's real important.
Yeah, I mean, I did some translations and for them, yeah, and then I just went to the meetings and got to meet some. That's the first time I got to meet Muslims here in Des Moines, and those guys I'm sure aren't around, or they're probably long since retired, but. One, his name was Magdi. I forget his last name. But, yeah. But he was pretty up there in years when I first met him. So, like I said, he's probably long since retired. And there's a Dr. Khan. Yeah. Yeah, Rizwan Shah. Yeah, Rizwan is her first name. She doesn't practice anymore, but she still goes around the country and speaks occasionally. Yeah. Yeah, and she works with abused children. Yeah, that's her specialty. And when she goes to speaking engagements, that's what she speaks on. Well, so she usually comes to the mosque every Friday for Friday prayer.
This was on Ria's special dinner.
Okay.
For the bereaved.
Yeah, I must have missed out on that
It was
one.
Thursday, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I was.
It was over on 63rd Street.
Yeah, I don't get over there because if it's not on a bus route, I just don't bother. Unless someone gives me a ride. So I didn't even know about that.
Well, I couldn't tell who was invited and who wasn't. I don't know quite well.
Yeah.
I just know it was special for me. I went
Well, that's good that,
about
yeah.
4 nights in a row.
Yeah.
That was the last one.
Yeah, when I saw John post this, oh yeah, I am so down here. I was talking to one of my fellow occupiers who attended some dinner at one of the other mosques here in the city for someone she has known for a long time.
Chorus singing, all we are saying is give peace a chance.
And she was telling me about that. So I'm going to go a little closer so I can pick up the singing more. All we are saying is give peace a chance. That's the words.
Good evening. Welcome to the celebration of the Coles Commons Peace Garden in the heart of Des Moines. My name is Carmen Lampe Zeitler, and I'm privileged to guide us in this historic gathering tonight. We are honored to come together in this place of beauty and serenity and challenge on International Day of Peace. The United Nations General Assembly has declared this day as a day devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace both within and among all nations and peoples. The International Day of Peace was established in 1981 to coincide with the opening session of the General Assembly at the United Nations. The theme of this year's commemoration, if you would go to the United Nations website, you would see that it is Partners for Peace, Dignity for All, which aims to highlight the importance of all segments of society coming together to work together for peace. So that seems like a very fitting theme for this gathering. Certainly rich partnerships have created the Coles Commons Peace Garden. A long journey, enormous effort, and hard work have brought us to this day, to this place, to this occasion. The journey, the effort, the work are all well represented in the program that you have this evening. I trust you all have a program. There's plenty. If you don't, raise your hand and we have people that can get those to you. So let us begin. At the beginning. The birth of the Peace Garden at what was called Nolan Plaza. The original Peace Garden in this place was the vision of legendary Bishop Maurice Dingman, the Bishop of the Des Moines Catholic Diocese from 1968 to 1986, and Rabbi Jay Goldberg, who was the rabbi at Temple B'nai Jeshurun from 1967 to 1983. The original Peace Garden was dedicated in May of 1980 with the placing of the Peace Medallion bearing the words written by Rabbi Goldberg. And that medallion is on the corner of the current Peace Garden. The words on the Peace Medallion have been put to music by local composer Steve Chandler, who is also the president of the board of directors at the Des Moines Diversity Chorus, and a member of that chorus will be singing with them tonight. So the chorus, directed by Julie Murphy, will be debuting this piece tonight and will also include it in their concerts throughout their performing season. Following the performance of Vision of Peace, we will hear the reminiscences of Rabbi Goldberg and Dan Clark. Dan was the program director of the Consortium of International Peace and Reconciliation, the organization that supported Bishop Dingman and Rabbi Goldberg in their efforts to establish the original Peace Garden in Nolan Plaza. So let us begin with the birth of the Peace Garden in Nolan Plaza. Rabbi Dr. Jay Goldberg, retired and living in St. Louis, sends his sincere regrets that at the last moment he had to cancel his plan to be with us. He is keeping vigil with a loved one who is imminently facing death. But he sent this reminiscence. I can share with you this recollection of the founding of the Peace Garden, an idea conceived by him and Morris Dingman, Bishop of the Des Moines Catholic Diocese in the 70s, as I said. So these are Rabbi Goldberg's words. We received permission from all the appropriate authorities at the time, in quotations, and shared our idea with numerous members of the clergy community, and they unanimously and enthusiastically embraced and endorsed the idea. I want to mention Reverend Dr. Calvin French, whose leadership skills were invaluable in transforming our dream into a reality. We were guided by these inviolable ideals. Number one, an inclusive and ecumenical spirit. The Peace Garden would be open and welcoming to all of God's children, to those of every religious, racial, cultural, and ethnic background, to those who espouse no faith or religious beliefs, to those of every sexual orientation, and remember this was in the 1970s, to Native Americans and to Americans whose antecedents came to America from numerous and diverse nations of the world. Number 2, in the midst of the Des Moines metropolitan area, the Peace Garden would serve as a quiet space for prayer, meditation, and reflection. The Peace Garden, number 3, will serve as an ideal space for peaceful assembly for the redress of grievances. Desirous that everyone in the greater Des Moines area would have a spiritual and/or emotional investment in the Peace Garden, and desirous that all citizens would feel that the Peace Garden belongs to them, members of our committee, as well as many clergy persons in our community, sent letters to thousands of Des Moines denizens, indicating that those whose hearts were willing could make a small donation of $1 or slightly more if one wished for the landscaping and upkeep of the garden. We purposefully did not accept any large donations. Thus, our fundraising campaign was consonant with our egalitarian theology, assuring that one's contribution would be seen as equal to every other person's contribution. The committee asked me to write the inscription that would appear on a plaque in the Peace Garden. I was honored by this request, and I wrote the inscription summarizing the shared vision of our committee. I am deeply disappointed in not being able to be with you for this auspicious occasion. May sentiments of love, kindness, and peace be spoken in our Peace Garden, and may there also emanate from this lovely place of floral splendor the clarion prophetic cry for justice for the most vulnerable among us in America and throughout the world, the dispossessed and disenfranchised, suffering discrimination, brutality, and death. I am yours, Rabbi Dr. J. B. Goldberg.
At the end of this, I will go over there and get a close-up of that medallion.
In a few minutes, we will sing together, "This is my song, O God of all the nations," a song of peace for lands afar and mine. What better anthem for International Peace Day? In his message for this day when world leaders assemble in New York, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon calls on warring parties everywhere to lay down their weapons, stop the killings and the destruction, and create space for lasting peace, he admonishes. Creating space for peace. Although it may seem hopelessly distant, he says, the dream of peace pulses in the lives of all people, everywhere. So this evening in Des Moines, in our precious city-centered Garden of Peace, we come to raise our voices, to sound our little beat in that universal pulse. Creating again a special place, renewing our dedication to a sacred space for peace. I worked in Des Moines from 1975 to 1982 for little pay, but priceless experiences and priceless relationships. It was my job to work for peace. My employers were religious. First, the so-called historic peace churches via the American Friends Service Committee and the Iowa Peace Network. And later, in 1979, when we planted this Peace Garden, a partnership of 10 Christian denominations. So it happened that a peace-wide ecumenical, this is a mouthful, consortium on international peace and reconciliation paid me, lucky me, to get up every morning and go to work on behalf of Iowans for peace. All this is to say, by way of reminiscence, that our office on East 5th Street, as part of the Iowa Interchurch Forum, became the mailing address and secretariat for collecting those $1 donations for designation of this Peace Garden. Although the Peace Consortium was officially a project of Christian churches, its vision embraced all who might claim Rabbi Goldberg's appellation spiritual community. Chet Gwynn. Where's Chet hiding? Chet Gwynn in the blue jeans and plaid shirt. I bet you all knew him from the fire station on the hill and all that.
I have been there, and I've streamed a few occasions over there.
Chet Gwynn was one of the architects and leaders. Bishop Dingman was another. I don't dare start naming names. So many peacemakers and peace leaders I recall so well. And I told somebody tonight I'm seeing faces, it's kind of a rogues gallery from the 70s and 80s that I remember. Jay Goldberg stepped into my office one morning, probably to talk Peace Garden, and his eyes went straight to a wall poster from a Mennonite organization titled, "A Modest Proposal for Peace." It said, "Let the Christians of the world agree that they will not kill each other." I liked that poster. I read it as affirmation of what we were about as Iowa churches. It never occurred to me to read it in any way but positive. But Jay's face said something else. "We've seen this before." It was all he needed to say, and I got it. How might Holocaust survivors read that call to all the Christians of the world? Did our peace really embrace other faith groups? Really? I was so looking forward to seeing Jay here tonight. In this world where the dream of peace pulses in the lives of all people everywhere, too many good people must go to work every day preparing and provisioning for wars. Just imagine if instead they could go to jobs requiring work for peace. Well, we can't all get paid for peace work, but nothing stops us from living lives of peace and creating spaces and places for peace. In the words of folk singer Charlie King, beloved bard of the peace movement, our life is more than our work, and our work is more than our jobs. May all who experience this garden, this place of peace, be more loving, merciful, and sharing. Let all raise voices in songs of peace. Indeed, may it be so.
So now as we turn from that original vision and establishment of the Peace Garden in the heart of the city to the creation of the current Peace Garden in which we gather this evening, we must note the significance of the name of the place that hosts the Peace Garden, Coles Commons. In a time when personal and public connections happen increasingly online through devices, virtually, digitally, an actual, physical, inviting commons has been created in Des Moines. A commons is a place around the world, across cultures, over the centuries, where citizens gather to be renewed and inspired, to celebrate what's right and challenge what isn't, to connect and celebrate, to be and become engaged citizens of a city and of the world. So we must acknowledge also at this time those rich partnerships that have come together to create the enormous effort and do the hard work that has created the Coles Commons Peace Garden. Aaron Olson Douglas was an invaluable liaison representing the city in the work with the Coles Foundation, the architects, and the Iowa Peace Monument Committee to develop and complete the Peace Garden. Charles Edwards' leadership and the generosity of the Coles Foundation made the resources available for the Peace Garden to be a significant component of the Coles Commons. Ken Smith, with deep roots in central Iowa, he was born in Waukee and graduated from Iowa State University, brought his internationally recognized skill and artistry to the creating of a Peace Garden that is becoming a Des Moines destination. In addition to sharing some remarks with us this evening, Ken will also lead us in a responsive reading that is in your program of the 10 peace quotes included in the Peace Garden, quotes that he chose from the 100 that were offered to him by the Iowa Peace Monuments Committee. So we'll begin with Aaron.
I began working on this project in 2007 as a number of folks were assembling some ideas about remaking this place. I was working in the capacity for the city from a background of architecture and urban design. As they spoke about their early ideas and were getting Ken engaged, I was overly enthusiastic about the ideas that were being put forward. As I said, it was 2007. I had no children at that point. I worked a fair amount on presentations and charrettes to get these ideas going. Fast forward to 2015, I now have 3 children, ages almost 2, almost 4, and almost 6. When I went on maternity leave with my first child, I came back and our city manager said, there's been a little bit of concern voiced about how the Peace Garden will be remade in the new in the new Nolan Plaza at that time. I think that success will look like everyone showing up at evenings like this, the organizers of the Coles Commons remaking, as well as the peace proponents being present and participatory in the grand opening of Coles Commons. That seemed reasonable. And then I stepped into the first couple of meetings about how we were going to do this. Within that first year, I think we decided on a rock and a place for the rock to be located while the ideas and the fundraising were happening. I didn't quite feel like success at that point. I became pregnant and went on maternity leave with my second child and came back to a series of charrettes, again, talking about integrating peace quotes into benches. And there began to be some momentum around that idea could work, that idea for having that space with those ideas ever present could be a very meaningful rendition of the Peace Garden in this space. I went on maternity leave with my third child, and I came back, and the fundraising was complete. The construction was about ready to start, which I'm very thankful for my 3 children, but it's very good that we have this place intact now because I might have had to keep going on maternity leave to keep this momentum going. So now I do have these 3 children, and of course we've had a marvelous time playing in the fountain this summer. But I will also say that we've had a terrific time roaming the Peace Garden space, and at ages 2, 4, and 6, they're very into this tactile experience and understanding that letters make words, make ideas. And so this place really resonates on a number of levels, be it from age 2, 4, and 6 to Chet Flynn, who was so key in making sure that this was happening. So thank you. I would say that facilitation was the role of the city in this case. Thank you.
I can go around the close-ups of the benches were actually surrounding the planting areas.
Charlie Edwards with the Coles Foundation. When I think of this, of the garden and the commons, 2 words really enter into my mind. One is vision, and the other is partnership. 30-some years ago, without the vision of our community leaders, both within the church community and the overall community, the Civic Center and Nolan Plaza would never have happened with the Peace Garden. And when we started to talk a number of years, how many years ago was that, Jeff? 8 years ago, about this space, that's what really motivated us to try to come up and honor that vision of our spiritual and our community leaders, and to renew the commitment to peace, to community, to partnership, which is what makes a project like this successful. So it was a thrill for us to be a part of it. I can't say that I always look forward to Chet visiting me in my office. I discovered one of the things that makes one a successful religious leader is commitment. And Chet, I didn't always enjoy your visits, but looking back on it, it's an important part of my life. And I thank all of you for being here tonight and really celebrating what I hope is an important part of our life going forward. Thank you.
The noise in the background is a fountain spring. I'll give a close-up of that later.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight as part of this celebration. And actually, it was an honor to work with the Iowa Peacemakers in collaborating on this project because I think that the 10 quotations that are built into this garden immeasurably make this a much better place than it might have been. So I think it was a very fruitful collaboration, and I think it really benefits the city. So I would like to lead us through the 10 quotations. I'm going to speak at the beginning, and I'm going to ask you to read with me the quotations. Mahatma Gandhi, on the other side of the world, challenges us to live lives of nonviolence. Walt Whitman, who I think was in New York, is that right? Yes. Walt Whitman, a New Yorker, voice of the poet, artist, provided a simple but profound rationale for why we should be peacemakers. Peace is always beautiful. Mother Teresa, angel of mercy among victims of poverty, called attention to our interdependence. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Albert Einstein, an immigrant Jew from Germany, was brokenhearted that his theory of relativity made atomic warfare possible. If only I had known, I would have been a watchmaker. Peace cannot be had by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Chief Seattle, a Native American and deeply grounded environmentalist, understood that the future depends upon respecting nature and all life. Humankind is now woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connect. Martin Luther King Jr., the African American, who were he alive today, would no doubt still be sounding his prophetic warning. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual death. Dorothy Day, founder of the Catholic Peace Ministry, puts the responsibility and hope for peace on each of us. No one has the right to sit down and feel helpless. There's too much to do. Helen Keller, an incredible human being without hearing or sight from birth, challenges us to move from intellectualizing to action. I do not want the peace that passes understanding. I want the understanding which bringeth peace. And Marla, an 8th grader, knew in her heart that her future and the world's future depends upon an end to war. If I could have 3 wishes, world peace would be all for me. And John Lennon, but the peace quote right over here, founder of the Beatles, captures our deep human longing for peace. Beautiful peace. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Thank you.
now this marvelous and moving Peace Garden calls us as sojourners and citizens, as dreamers and doers, to further partnerships in the work of wonder and joy, peace and justice. The next speakers have been asked to give word to the call of this place to an even richer, more vibrant future together. Jeff Chelsvig and Laura Sweet have been most hospitable partners representing the Des Moines Performing Arts Center in the creation of this place for the public to gather, experience community, and have a voice. Mayor Frank County, as noted in the program, is the founder of Mayors for Peace and brings a global perspective to his work as the mayor of Des Moines, including his commitment to purposeful collaborations that contribute to peace in Des Moines and around the world. I don't see Bishop Stark. So, Sarah Schnucker-Wright is a visionary among us. As the executive director of the Des Moines Area Religious Council for the past 8 years, Sarah has engaged citizens, individuals, the faith community, the corporate and business community, the academic community with information, imagination, and determination in that most foundational work of peace, food security. I invite you to come.
Thank you. I'm Jeff Chelsvig. I'm president of the Des Moines Performing Arts. We are the organization that runs this space and the Civic Center. When we began this
That
project
is the Civic Center there.
Looking at this space, we wanted to be as inclusive as possible. We gained a lot of information from various constituents from all walks of life in the city. And we were inspired by many people. Many of you here took part in those first charrettes in 2008, and then later as the design was being put together. And I think that the outcome is spectacular. It is such a wonderful space, and it is something that we are all very proud of at Des Moines Performing Arts. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the people that made this possible. We had to raise $13 million to do this. The Gardner and Florence Paul Coles Foundation, Charlie Edwards represented them tonight. They represented the lead gift. We also had gifts from the Lordson family, the Knaps, Princeton Financial Group, and a great amount of public support from the state of Iowa, from Polk County, and from our partners, the city of Des Moines. And while we will hold events on this space occasionally, the purpose of it largely is to be something that was coined during the fundraising, that this is our town square. I grew up in Iowa, and many of you did, I'm sure, and you know that all of the 99 counties and their county seat have that town square, where many of them where the courthouse is. This is what we believe is the town square of Des Moines. And so to tell you a little bit more about that vision, I invite Laura Sweet, our Vice President, who was the project manager for this and did a magnificent job with
that. Good evening. I'm Laura Sweet, the Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for Des Moines Performing Arts. Thanks for the opportunity to share a few brief remarks. As Jeff mentioned, we at Des Moines Performing Arts are committed to ensuring that this block and the events we present are reflective of our goals for renovating this beloved community space. My focus as the primary project manager, beginning with design and lasting through the opening of this block earlier this summer, has been on creating a space that's safe, welcoming, and provides fantastic platform for diverse events. It's our commitment to be mindful stewards of this block, as we have been with maintaining our architectural award-winning building across the street at the Civic Center. Since opening Coles Commons in June, we've hosted large events like National Night Out Celebration, the Flashstein Pop-Up Dinner, and Wine Fest, as well as smaller events like the Lunch Hour Bellin Quartet concerts and community yoga. And of course, there have been peaceful moments of reflection for busy downtown workers taking a break during hectic days,
while just a few steps away, we hear the lively sound of kids and adults splashing in the Lawrenson Fountain. Later this fall, we'll be adding the final touch to the block, the Jim Campbell dynamic art sculpture. So for a few more words on the future of this amazing space, up next is our Mayor, Frank Kahn.
I will tell you that it does my heart good, and I know this is the city of Des Moines, to see so many people that have interest in this place. And the importance of this place through the years, from our faith-based community that has represented the thoughts and the inspiration of Bishop Dingman and Rabbi Goldberg and all the other faith-based members that brought together this idea at the very beginning. And to know today that we brought it forward with yet a new vision, a 21st century vision, but it's always the same. It's a quiet place. It's a place for people to come together, and it's a place to meditate and reflect about peace on earth and in our city and in our capital city. I will tell you that our commitment from the city, our staff, which you heard earlier, and their thinking, and their abilities, and the partnership and collaboration with the private sector and certainly with everybody at the Civic Center. And we've all come together on this with the community to see the future and think about it. And in the larger sense, as one of the mayors for peace, it's been interesting to participate in a number of those events nationally and internationally, and having been around the world and talked to mayors. You know, we're not making decisions usually about war. We're usually making decisions about potholes and sidewalks and libraries and in places where people think. But I will tell you, it's the voices that you all have that not only from a peace sector and a peace thought and a peace mind that push us forward to make sure that we still have places for people to come together. And citizens from around this world that I have talked to in places, other countries, whether it be Israel and Jerusalem, or whether it be in Saudi Arabia, or in Japan, or in Korea or China, or in Europe and France or in England, everybody wants peace. The mayors want peace, their citizens want peace. And as one of the leaders, interestingly enough, from Saudi Arabia said, we all have to be careful and make sure we keep our eyes on those extremists that think differently and think that war and violence is the way to end the friction in the future. Not so. And I will conclude to you to think about, as we think about local government and our place in thinking about peace and bringing our people together to think about it and to join with all of our other collaborators in this effort. I was challenged by a media person when we spoke at the United Nations, and the individual said to me, Mayor, this is a place where heads of state come. This is where they debate the future of the world. What are you as a mayor doing here to think about this? What is your piece in this? And I said, you know, everything is local. Everything happens someplace. At that particular occasion, the mayor sitting next to me were the mayors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I said, if you don't believe that, ask the two mayors to my left if consequences of our thinking about war and peace aren't local every single day. So let's all of us continue to think about peace, because it's those of us that are going to push it up to the state level, going to push it to the federal level, and make them know that the people of America and the people of Des Moines, Iowa want peace. Thank you.
Those are the two cities that were hit with the atomic bombs in World War II.
It's getting too dark to read, so we have to finish up pretty soon. There are all kinds of explanations for why peace is so difficult to achieve, and most of them are probably right. And there's all kinds of advice on how to do better at peace, and most of it is probably helpful. And there are even some of us who think that slowly and gradually we are getting better in this world at achieving peace. And I am not one of them. I think we mostly still suck, which is, of course, a visionary and faith community technical term. But I do think there is hope. I think that each of us has the ability to choose a more peaceful way to live, just one decision at a time. And so I want to share a story with you about a man named Jarvis Masters, who is he's a prisoner on death row, and he's a Buddhist. One day there was a seagull out in the yard in San Quentin. It had been raining, and the seagull was there paddling around in a puddle. And one of the inmates picked up something in the yard and was about to throw it at the bird. Jarvis didn't even think about it. He automatically put out his hand to stop the man. And of course, this escalated the man's aggression, and the man started yelling. Who the hell did Jarvis think that he was? And why did Jarvis care so much about that blankety-blank bird? And all the prisoners started circling around, just waiting for the fight, and the other inmate was screaming at Jarvis, "Why did you do that? Why did you stop me?" And out of Jarvis's mouth came the words, "I did that because that bird's got my wings. That bird's got my wings." And the prisoners all stopped screaming because everybody got it. We are all connected. So maybe if before any rock is thrown, before any shot is shot, before any judgment is made that someone else is bad and deserves pain, maybe if we stop to think, we will remember that each one of us needs every other one of us, if any of us are going to have wings. Thank you.
We are grateful for this time to celebrate the presence and purpose of the Coles Commons Peace Garden. Thank you for coming. It's not in the program, but I feel like we need to, and it would be appropriate for us to thank the Iowa Peace Monuments Committee, who brought so much energy and vision to the making of this place. So I would ask for that committee to please stand for a moment that we could express our gratitude.
Are scattered throughout the area, so I'm just panning around to give you a look at them.
Thank you. We want also to thank the musicians and the speakers for sharing with us this long journey, this enormous effort, this hard work that has brought us to this day and to this place and to this occasion. Chad, who's been mentioned several times tonight, who we know was involved with the earliest Peace Garden and was integral to the current Peace Garden at Coles Commons, told me a story about Rabbi Goldberg and Bishop Dingman, that they were neighbors on the same street. And Bishop Dingman's house happened to be the place where Rabbi Goldberg's children caught the bus. And so Bishop Dingman took an interest in those children, and that was the first connection that the rabbi and the bishop had. It came around because of the children. And ultimately, that is why we are here this evening, because of the children. Any effort we make toward a more peaceful community, country, cosmos, we make because of the children. Tomorrow, the General Assembly of the United States meets beginning with the crisis affecting countless children who have been fleeing a country where they have lived amidst fear and violence, some of them for all of their lives. Solutions must be found among us because of the children. Fear and violence in our own country is on the rise. It has been a year of awakening to that reality. Another way must be determined because of the children. More monuments, more movements, more art, more music, more demonstrations, more imagination must be put in the employ of peace because of the children. Our lives and our life together must be transformed by peace because of the children. One of the best descriptions I know of such a transformed life together comes from The Dinner Party by artist Judy Chicago. I share it with you as a part of the dream that we will hold for the UN General Assembly as it convenes tomorrow and as we conclude our time here. It goes like this. And then all that has divided us will merge. And then compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind. And then both men and women will be gentle. And then both women and men will be strong. And then no person will be subject to another's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then the greed of some will give way to the need of many. And then all will share in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old, and then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth. And then everywhere will be called Eden once again. We will continue then to sing the dream for the UN Assembly convening.
She motioned for the audience to stand, which they have. This is from the Finlandia melody.
This is my
God bless America. Band will continue to play as people disperse, but I'm going to walk around. I'm going to go ahead and shut my light off. Thought I would benefit the last speaker. Hello. Trying to show you the quote that's on this particular that's on here. This is a quote from Dorothy Day. Some of the words are obscured by the two guys out in front of it. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to walk around, show you a little bit more. This whole area, this is the name of the place. It's also in a couple other spots, Cowles or Coles Commons. Some may pronounce it differently. So inside here is all kinds of plants, some just freshly planted. So they'll take a little longer to grow than others. This is Chief Seattle's quote here. There's lights that are stuck inside the plants to uplight it at night, along with these lights that are up here. This section here has been fenced off because there's something going to be done here. So this, I believe, this will be where the new installation will go when it is ready. It's Albert Einstein's quote over here. So the announcer is just saying that there's some items that someone had left. So now I'm coming up to the medallion. That was in the original area. It was in this area here near where the light pole is. going to try to get it close. It might be a little difficult to read this. But this is the original one that, the rock is the original rock that it was fixed to. Hello.
Good to see you.
Yep.
Take care.
There's going to be a little fun at the airport in a little while. You know that?
No.
Another drone protest.
Oh, not tonight. Yeah, next
No.
week.
Yeah.
Next week.
Like I said, this.
Okay, see you later.
Yep. I was telling that was Kathleen McQuillan, one of the members of the American Friends Service Committee, which is an activist Quaker organization. They are heavily involved in peace activities, and they do protests, they do educational events, they do other kinds of events for raising awareness of different issues. Over here are the lights that the fountain was on. I was hoping to actually get a shot of it spraying, but apparently they've shut it off. It was just turned on for the specific event. But these lights are a night fixture, and there are lights in. So when this is not covered with water, the lights are still on, and just like any other floor light or ground light. So, but the water sprays up, and it sways, and the spigots sway back and forth, and that's how that fountain works. And people, so there's a little bit of a dip, and run through it. The water might be a little chilly. Yeah, they shut the fountain off already. Oh, cutie alert.
Yeah, I get it.
Pretty good. A couple of cute kids there. So I just wanted to show you a little bit about what is here. And that area right in front, where this, behind where this planting is where Food Not Bombs is. Resumed setting up and serving meals. There, now the fountain is coming back on, so I'll give you a look at that. Show you how that works. So that was kind of the background noise along with the traffic that you heard earlier. So with the lights on, it colors the water. So this used to be the old Nolan Plaza. This is Capitol Square. And the idea behind this red brick area is like a red carpet over to the Civic Center. There's a wide variety of plants here. So I just wanted to show you that. A little more about what not me. I got socks on. I'm not going to get them wet. Later. Another activist who belongs to the Catholic worker community here, which is another thing that Dorothy Day was heavily involved in. I hope you don't mind. I broadcasted you live to the world. I broadcasted you live to the world.
Oh, okay.
Just had to tell a couple of the band members that I streamed their stuff. So people are still hanging around. Ran into a few other Catholic worker members, occupiers, and and just supporters. You're welcome.
Now, what will yours be on where now?
I'm live streaming. It goes straight up to my Ustream channel, and then when I get home, I'll put the video up on YouTube.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Okay. You must be doing video.
Yeah, I'm live streaming actually. So it's a live broadcast straight from my phone up to the internet.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have an audience.
Yeah, and when I get home, after I shut my stream down, I'll go home and then I'll put the video up on YouTube so it'll be archived there for posterity.
Wonderful.
So I got into doing this during Occupy, when we had the Occupy protests here in Des Moines, when that started. So yeah, I got into doing that.
So if I search YouTube for
Kaylin,
Des Moines Peace Garden, or
Peace Garden dedication is what I title it, and then so that's what I'll title it when I put it up on YouTube.
Get my glasses and see what your name is. Kaylin.
Yep.
Strain.
Yep. Last time I checked.
Well, your past still claims that's who you are.
Yep. Hopefully my cat hasn't changed it. He's asking where the video goes to, so I told him that I'll put it up on YouTube and what it will be titled. So when I put my Ustream videos up on YouTube, I use the same titles as I do when I title here in Ustream. And you're live. So anyway, I use the same titles generally when I put my videos up on YouTube. Although on YouTube I can extend the title a little longer, or on Ustream when I go on my page at home, I can add to the title more than I can here on the mobile app. But so he also took my name down so he can search on YouTube for my name, and that's how you can also find it and see all the other videos that I've done. So this area again replaces the old Nolan Plaza, now called Cowles or Coles Commons, depending on your choice of pronunciation. So the metal leaves that are on these benches were not meant to prevent people from sitting. People can sit. They're just more of a decoration, part of the artistic design of it. And again, there will be one more piece that will be added that is not current. So that will take place fairly soon. So I think I'm going to go ahead and shut my tablet off since I'm done. Shut my tablet off since I'm done shooting. Oh, that has been going viral on Facebook. There's a Facebook group called Show Me Your Stethoscope. So people have been posting pictures of stethoscopes, and then I popped one on there today. So I took a picture of me with one that has the word Prestige on the bell of it. So I said, got Prestige, So I put that up there. I've been a home health aide, and then I was a street medic for Occupy Des Moines. And then I got into live streaming. And oh boy, are you a cutie? You're so cute. Yes, you are.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yes, you are. Where did you get that cuteness from?
Mama.
I'm going to get some toes. Yeah, I live stream this, so when I get home, I'm going to put this video up on YouTube.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Bye, cutie. Sorry, I just couldn't resist that cuteness. Oh, they are taking the chairs and the sound system down, so I'm going to head on over to the bus station. But before I do shut down, I want to thank you for watching. I want to ask you to show me a little support. I do this on my own dime. I eat a big data plan in order to do this.
This woman just
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, I'm still live.
So you don't watch yourself again.
Yeah, I'm still live. I haven't shut my stream down yet. But I like to do a lot of these events. I don't live stream just protests. I do a variety of things. So when I saw the post on Facebook from one of my activist friends, I said, I got to come down here and do this.
Thank you for doing it.
So when I go home, I'm going to put the video up on YouTube.
I'm going to go look for it.
So it'll be titled Peace Garden Dedication.
I'll link it to Facebook for sure.
Okay. And I'll post that there also later. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut my stream down. But before I do, I would like to ask you to show me a little something. Please go to my GoFundMe site, gofundme.com/OccupierCaitlin. That will help me cover the cost of my live streaming and broadcasting. Again, gofundme.com/OccupierCaitlin. That is KAYLYNN. And if you cannot access GoFundMe or you do not have any of the currencies that it supports, you can go through PayPal at www.paypal.com. And in the send money to line, enter the email address strainSOP@AOL.com. Again, www.paypal.com. And in the send money to line, enter the email address strainSOP@AOL.com. That will help me cover the cost of my live streaming and broadcasting, so I can continue to bring you these events live and unedited, and most of the time uncut. So I do this on my own dime. I don't get any support from any organization, private, public, or otherwise. And I will not take any corporate funding whatsoever. Even if it's $1 million, I won't take it. But again, do check out my donation sites. If you can, throw me a little. If you can't, pass it on. Let other people know that I'm the Des Moines live streamer, currently the only one doing it. I haven't had any takers on my offer to teach other people how to do it. I'd like to get other people to do it so that more of these events can be covered, because I cannot be everywhere. I ride the bus, so I don't drive. I can't get to a lot of places that I like to go to. And but I'll have to walk a ways when I go live stream tomorrow at Pink Out for Planned Parenthood event that will be taking place tomorrow morning. So again, I'll be live tomorrow morning. But again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the stream.